As the summer season barrels towards a close, you know what that means. Time for me to make my spring anime video. Shit. Yes, spring ended months ago and I'm only now releasing a video about it. In other words, I'm Netflix. Instead of releasing separate videos on spring and summer incredibly late, however, I'm going to combine this into one Megazord seasonal impressions monstrosity, so strap in. From the onset, spring 2017 promised a sequel-heavy outfit. With continuations to several of recent years' most popular, acclaimed works, and Saikano, it was a lot to catch up on. If you didn't, you missed out on the best the season, and perhaps the year, had to offer. I knew what sort of proven commodity I'd get from The Eccentric Family and My Hero Academia, so even if none of the season's originals caught my eye, I'd still have plenty to look forward to each week. With the lone exception of New Game's continuation, summer told a different story, with a slate of shows I was only peripherally aware of. Still, I managed to find a handful that stuck the landing. Overall, spring and summer, like any seasons, had their fair share of hits and misses. For those of you still wondering which series from these seasons are worth your time, hopefully this video can serve as a guide for where to start. While the sequels stole most of the spotlight, there are a few originals that grab me. Evaluations of seasons on the whole are a tricky business, as there's so many shows from similar genres. Sometimes, as I inhale new show after new show, I question why I cover anime seasonally at all. There comes a point they all start to blend together in my head. Less a comment on their quality, more so the quantity. When you consume so much in bite-sized chunks each week, it's easy to get buried beneath it all. Wouldn't I be far better served to wait, and take in each new series one at a time, where I can devote all my attention to the show at hand versus splitting it evenly across 10 or 12? Yes, seasonal watching is somewhat of a community event. I'd miss out on any chance to participate in the discussions that sprout from everyone in the community watching the same thing, essentially together. There's something to be said about that shared experience, but does it do more harm than good? How much are we actually contributing through our unending line of first impressions write-ups, Twitter hot takes, and episode reviews? The memes would be a heavy loss to be sure, but the rest? These videos, articles, etc. tend to feel formulaic and starkly impersonal, mine included. As I wrote the initial script for this video, I thought, any Joe Schmuck could write this. What am I really adding here? Everyone's so concerned to make their voice heard first. Do we ever stop to genuinely consider what we're saying? Every season brings dozens of new anime at once, and with it, all of us scrambling, clawing to make our opinion loudest. That's a lot of people making a lot of takes. When a few of them get repeated enough times, they stick. A groupthink starts to form. No matter what the series does from that point on, the larger community has its mind made up 2 episodes in. The ink is already dry. But anime aren't 2 episodes long. When challenged on their opinions, people tend not to try to see it from the other's perspective, but double down on their own. And as much as you may try to fight it, groupthink is a powerful force. It's human nature. This season was an interesting test case in that I didn't watch a single episode of a summer anime until mid-August, when the season was more than halfway over. I didn't participate in any of the discussion, watch any first impressions video, or yes, even meme. It gave me the opportunity to truly experience each of these series with no expectations. I honestly have no clue what the larger anime community has said about any of these, minus a few passing comments here and there. I thought this would allow me to go in with a fresh eye, free of any crowd influence. But that's just it. I didn't start any summer anime until mid-August. Not because I planned it that way, I simply didn't care. Without the discussion surrounding it, I no longer saw any incentive to start something that didn't interest me or continue one I saw problems with. By the time I got around to any of summer's intrigue, the discussion had long passed me by. I'd be shouting to an empty room. There is value in this community experience. No, not all discussion is created equal. Some tips into toxic territory. At times, the event can feel like a snowball rolling downhill, with people a little too eager to hop aboard the latest hate wagon. But one negative experience does not outweigh the gain from all the others. As frustrated as I can get with this community at times, I'm still glad to have it. Following these series as they air gives us a unique opportunity to experience them with like-minded people, fans of this medium. Is that not why you're watching this video in the first place? Why else do you follow any anime channel or blog? What do you go to Annie Twitter or our anime for if not to share your experience with the medium with others? The fact I, in the United States, can legally watch an episode of anime a mere hour after it airs in Japan and talk about it with someone in Europe is incredible. You used to have to wait until you could get the series from your local video store just to watch it, and then who else would you share it with but yourself and maybe a close circle of friends? That's one reason why Netflix's refusal to simulcast shows they license frustrates me. They uploaded Little Witch Academia's second half months after it finished airing in Japan, and Kakegurui's not scheduled until 2018. When they picked up my and many others' most anticipated anime of next year, Violet Evergarden, we were reasonably upset. By the time they release these series, hardly anybody's talking about them anymore. I can't get that shared experience back. Yes, there are thousands of other anime we could watch instead, but watching a show off my backlog alone is an entirely different experience than following it week by week with others. Certainly the discussion can get exhausting and reductive. Honestly, I felt a little burned out going into this season, so skipping out on weekly anime afforded me a much-needed break from it all. It's not just the discussion, though. I come to seasonal anime for the same reason I come to the medium at large. An experience free from what I could find elsewhere. Not necessarily an escape, as many of my favorites offer experiences deeply relatable to my own, but something new, that I couldn't get anywhere but here. When I binge a show in a few days, that something burns fiercely, potentially consuming whatever else I had going on, until it runs out in a flash. Seasonal anime stretches that experience out. A weekly reprieve to something better, something different, something new. That could be as simple as good old-fashioned fun. 24 minutes never fly faster to me than during an episode of My Hero Academia. I don't watch for any deeper meaning or illuminating personal reflection. Hero Aka is fun. It makes my Saturday mornings that much brighter, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Tsukigakire's small doses of clumsy teen romance provided a blast to the past I probably don't want to unearth, but more importantly, that little bit of honest feeling. I found its dorky duo warm and genuine, but never saccharine. A producer said the series took inspiration from one of my favorites, Tamako Love Story. With its depiction of the awkward ephemerality of adolescence, that influence is clear. Sakura Quest is little more than a weekly stop-in on the goings-on of a small town and its delightful tourism board, but I love it for that. Its subplots revolve around a surprising amount of politicking, and every now and then it hits those relatable notes of young adult life for me. I simply enjoy spending a half hour catching up with these characters once a week. New Game provides the same experience to me. Does it have to be anything more? No show better exemplified this, though, than The Eccentric Family 2. One of my favorite series of all time, The Eccentric Family is a slice of life unlike any I'd seen before. The understated whimsy grounded by its strikingly calm vibe offers an almost therapeutic experience not unlike Iyashikei, but with a dazzling spectacle. The writing bursts with style, devilishly smart in the way it contorts language. The characters have such a strong flavor to them, their sharp-tongued dialogue always fun. Even its exposition is a joy to take in. I don't know if this sequel reached quite the same heights or if I'd call it my favorite of the year, but it brought that feeling of wonder back. It's these spectacular moments that make The Eccentric Family special, when I breathlessly drift into this magical Kyoto, swept away by its vivid color and ethereal beauty. The detail poured into every frame is remarkable, as even unexciting shots have so much going on in them. Sometimes, watching anime can feel like a chore to me. It's easy to get bogged down in the calculated monotony of my seasonal checklist. I wonder then, why am I watching it all? Isn't this supposed to be for my enjoyment? What am I actually getting out of this? At times, I'm not sure. But on Sundays in spring, these questions had answers. The Eccentric Family encompasses everything I come to anime for. The fears and anxieties of the week before melted away, and for 24 minutes, I was a part of this vibrant, colorful world. For 24 minutes, I thought, so this is why. Those shows exist for all of us, it's just a matter of finding them. Not every season will have one, but I'll never know if I don't watch. I didn't have that relationship with any anime this summer because I chose to miss out, and my experience with them now, weeks later, suffered as a result. If you must know what I'd pick, my favorite new summer shows thus far would have to be Mahujin Guru Guru, Maiden Abyss, and Surezure Children. But don't wait for me to tell you what seasonal anime you should watch. Hell, I never make these damn videos until the season's nearly over anyway. Watch it as it premieres, experience it with the rest of the community, but don't let that guide your perspective on it. Binging anime rather than consuming it piece by piece has its place, but seasonal watching presents the rare opportunity we have to experience this medium as a community. Why pass that up? If you, like me, are just now deciding what summer shows to try, don't worry. You didn't miss out on too much. After all, there's always next season.